All right, so continuing 3, 4, here's the second part of the video where we're going to go through some problems. Okay, we're going to do all three things. A, write the particular equation of the line described, point slope form where appropriate. Okay, then we're going to transform to slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. And then transform the equation to ax, this is standard form, ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are integers. And I'm always going to say and a is positive. Okay, so the first one, y-intercept of -3, that's b equals -3, and your slope is -2. Okay, so we're going to do, we'll do point slope form. Okay, so our point is going to be 0, -3. And our slope is going to be -2. So y minus y1, y plus 3, equals your slope, -2, times x minus 0. And you don't need the minus 0. If you left that off, that's not incorrect. And part B, if you transform, really transforming this is not that, there's not much to do. So you've got y plus 3 equals, let's distribute that -2. So -2x plus 0. Okay, and slope intercept form is just y equals -2x plus 3. Again, this one is kind of made to go straight to this form. Y equals your slope, -2x plus your y-intercept. That should be -3, thank you, because we're subtracting the 3 over here. And then part C, we want ax plus by equals c. So we want the x's and y's on the same side. That's the first thing we do. On the left side, you want the x's and y's. On the right side, you want the constant. So adding this to the other side, and you want your x term first. So you're going to add 2x to both sides. You'll get 2x plus y equals -3. Okay. The next one passes through these 2 points. Well, when you pass through 2 points, we're going to have to find the slope. So y2 minus y1, 9 minus 6, over x2 minus x1, 3 minus 1. So we get 3 over 2. Okay. And our point, we can use either point. So I'm going to use this point. So y minus 6 equals your slope, 3/2 times x minus 1. So that -6 goes in there. This 1 goes in over here. Your slope goes in there. So right there, there's your point slope form. Part B. So part B, we're always going to distribute this thing. So we start with point slope form. Y minus 6 on the left. Distribute the 3/2 x to both of those terms. Minus 3/2. Okay, and then get the y by itself. So add 6 to both sides. So y equals 3/2 x minus 3/2 and then plus 6. Getting common denominators, that's going to be y equals 3/2 x, and that would be 12/2 minus 3/2 equals 9/2. Or you could call it 4.5. But there's slope intercept form. The next part, we need the x's and y's on the same side. So I'm going to move this to the left. -3/2 x plus y equals 9/2. Okay. Now what we want is we want a, b, and c to be integers. Right now, a is -3/2, b is 1, and c is 9/2. We've got a 2 on the bottom here and a 2 on the bottom here. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. I'm going to multiply this by 2. The 2's cancel. You get -3x multiply by 2 plus 2y equals, and here the 2's cancel. Okay, one last step. I always like to make the a value positive. So I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by -1. I get 3x minus 2y equal to -9. There's your standard form. Okay, next one passes through this point parallel to this line. Well, this is slope-intercept form. If it's parallel to this line, it's going to have the same slope. So I know my slope is going to be 3. And I know that because it's y equals mx plus b. That's in slope-intercept form. So that 3 is the m. Okay, so part A, I'm going to do y minus y1. There's my y1. So y plus 3 equals your slope times x minus 2. Okay. Part B, getting into slope-intercept form, we basically distribute that and get the y by itself. So we've got y plus 3 equals 3x minus 6. And I'm going to subtract the 3 over there. So y equals 3x minus 9. And finally, standard form, I want the x's and y's on the same side. So I'll move that 3 to the other side. And a, b, and c are all integers, so we're just going to make sure that a is positive. 3x minus y equals 9. Okay. The next one, okay, passes through this point and is perpendicular to this line. So the slope of this line is m equals -3/4. But we want our line to be perpendicular. So the slope of a perpendicular line will be the opposite reciprocal. So we have to make that thing positive and flip. So positive 4/3. Okay, so part A, point slope form is going to be y minus 3 equals your slope, 4/3 times x plus 2. There's point slope form. Part B, you have to distribute that to these terms, get the y by itself. Y minus 3 equals 4/3 x plus 8/3. Add 3 to both sides. Y equals 4/3 x. If I add 3, I'm adding 6/3, so that's going to be 14/3. Double check that I added those fractions correctly. So adding 3, 8/3 plus actually, that's not right. 3 would be 9/3. So we want that to be a 17. Okay, so 8/3 plus 9/3, because 9/3 is 3. Okay, and part C, we want to get everything on the same side of the equation first. So I've got -4/3 x plus y equals 17/3. We don't want any fractions, so 1, 3, multiplying that through will knock out all our fractions. Those cancel. -4x plus 3y equals 17. Now I want that to be positive, so I'll multiply both sides by -1. Okay. Finally, it has a y-intercept, number 5, of 5, and a slope of this, well, a y-intercept is 0, 5. The y-intercept is 5. There's my slope. So part A, point slope form, is going to be y minus 5 equals your slope times x minus 0. Again, you don't need that minus 0. B, let's multiply it out. Actually, this one, point slope form, or slope intercept form, we have a y-intercept and we have a slope. So this is just y equals 2/3 x plus 5. Transforming to point slope form, or to standard form, sorry. Let's move that on the same side. So -2/3 x plus y equals 5. Let's get rid of the fraction, multiply both sides by 3 to knock out that fraction. So you get negative 2x plus 3y equals 15. And I like that a to be positive, so let's make that 2x minus 3y equals negative 15. Okay. X-intercept of 4, well, that's the point 4 comma 0. Y-intercept of 3, that's the point 0 comma 3. Your slope is going to be, let's do y2 minus y1, 3 minus 0 over 0 minus 4. So our slope is negative 3/4. So pick one of your points. I'll just pick the first one. So y minus 0 equals negative 3/4 times x minus 4. Slope-intercept form. Just going to multiply that out. So y minus 0 equals negative 3/4 x plus 3. Can't simplify anymore there. Adding the 3/4 x to the other side to get the x's and y's together for standard form. 3/4 x plus y equals 3. Let's get rid of that fraction. Multiply both sides by 4. And we get 3x plus 4y equal to 12. Okay. The next one passes through this point and is parallel to this line. Well, this one we need to find the slope, because if our line is parallel to this line, they have to have the same slope. But this isn't slope-intercept form. This isn't point-slope form, so we don't know what the slope is until we get it into one of those forms. So let's get the y by itself. 2y equals negative x plus 5, dividing by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5/2. So our slope is negative 1/2. And then we've got our point right here. So for point slope form, I'm going to have y plus 1 equals negative 1/2 times x minus 2. There's point slope form. Multiplying this out to get slope-intercept form, get the y by itself. Y plus 1 equals negative 1/2 x. Multiply negative 1/2 times negative 2 gives you positive 1. Right? Okay, so that's just going to be y equals negative 1/2 x. Subtract 1 from both sides, that goes away. The next one, let's add this to the other side. 1/2 x plus y equals 0. Multiply both sides by 2. We've got x plus 2y equals 0. Okay. And let's go to the next page. Just 3 more. Passes through this point and is perpendicular to this line. Okay, we have to find the slope of this line, and then the line perpendicular will be the opposite reciprocal. So we've got negative 2y equals negative 3x plus 8. Divide by negative 2. Y equals 3/2 x minus 4. So the slope of this line equals 3/2. But we want the line perpendicular, so the slope of the line perpendicular is equal to negative 2/3. You have to take the opposite and flip it. So that's going to be y minus 1 equals your slope, negative 2/3 times x plus 2. Part B, slope-intercept form, y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 x minus 4/3, just distributing that negative 2/3 to the x and to the negative 2. Add 1 to the other side. Y equals negative 2/3 x. We have minus 4/3, but we're going to add 1, adding 3/3, so we get minus 1/3. Okay, and part C, let's get everything on one side. So this becomes a positive 2/3 x plus y equals negative 1/3. Multiply both sides by 3. So A, B, and C are integers. We'll get 2x plus 3y equals negative 1. Okay. Passes through the origin and a slope of 1/3 passes through the origin. That's the point 0, 0. Slope is 1.3, or if I want to make that a fraction, I can call that 13 over 10. Basically, I did 1/3 over 1. Multiply by a clever form of 1. Multiply by 10 over 10, and I get 13 over 10. Point slope form is going to be y minus 0 equals your slope, 13/10 times x minus 0. And you don't need those minus zeros. B, let's multiply it out. Y equals 13 over 10x. Basically the same thing. Then let's get everything on one side. Subtract that to the left. Negative 13 over 10x plus y equals 0. Multiply both sides by 10. Now multiply by a negative 1. And finally, passes through these 2 points. So your slope is going to be negative 6 minus a negative 6. So you get 0. In the bottom, you get 4 minus 2. It's 2. Okay. Our slope is 0. And remember, if your slope is 0, you've got a horizontal line. So you've got y. And we can use one of these points if we do the actual step-by-step. So y plus 6 equals your slope times x minus 2. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense as an equation. So y plus 6 equals 0, or y equals negative 6. Okay. So that would be point slope form. B would be really this. You're getting the y by itself. And C would be same thing. You've got 0x plus 1y equals negative 6. So y equals negative 6. And that's it.